What's up YouTube? This is Mox Lotus here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to stop yourself from getting cheated at tournaments. So today we're going to be focusing on pre-releases because the Dragons of Tarkir pre-release is coming up. And generally when there's a new set coming out, I like to do some type of video based around it. And today we're going to be talking about, again, basically 3 things that will make sure that you have fair games with your opponent at the tournament. So because pre-releases are a fairly casual environment, there's no need for deck lists and things like that, and there aren't really many judges there, and so this is pretty much like the prime time for cheaters, and so this is the time when you've really got to worry the most about being cheated. Also, there are people who could technically use this video as a how to cheat guide. It's not intended for that. If you are going to cheat, do so at your own risk. So with all that out of the way, let's get started. So the first thing to look out for is people changing their life totals. Now in your pre-release kit, you get these types of like 20-sided spin down dice, and they are pretty cool, especially the one for the new set. They actually look amazing. But basically, the thing about these dice is that the only real record they have is the current number that's up. So what people will do is they will accidentally knock the dice off the table or something, and then they'll go and pick it up, and then they'll kind of adjust their life to maybe 1 or 2 points higher, or sometimes this is extreme, it's very unlikely, but they might knock yours accidentally and then set yours to a couple of points lower. So you definitely want to watch out for that. If you see anyone knock their dice off the table, definitely be suspicious. Also, the best way to combat this is to bring a notepad and a pen and paper, or I guess the notepad is the paper, but this way you can keep a running tally of life totals, and you'll have an actual record in case the judge comes over, and people aren't going to try and do this dice knocking thing if you have a notepad. Also, you can't knock notepads off the table, so again, you'll always have an honest life total. So the next way that people can cheat you is by using fake morphs. So morph is an ability where you can play a creature, or I think that it's for some other types of cards too, like enchantments as well, I think. And you can play them face down as a 2/2 creature for 3, or you can play them normally as well. And when you have enough mana, you can also turn them face up for their morph cost, and usually when you turn them face up they get some special ability. But there might be a time when, say, your opponent's on 1 health and you have more creatures on the field than they do by 1, and so if one of your creatures isn't blocked, then you win the game. And so on your opponent's turn they draw, and they play a card that's a 2/2 for 3 face down. Basically, this could be a morph, but one thing to keep in mind is that it could also be a land or a card that doesn't have morph. And so people do this. I know that at big Magic tournaments, it's a requirement to turn morphs face up at the end of the match. And yeah, now don't worry, this isn't going to be relevant in the next pre-release, I don't think, for Magic Origins. I'm pretty sure Dragons of Tarkir will be the last set that has morphs in it for a while. So yeah, this is the last pre-release where you should have to worry about it for a while at least. But basically, some things to be suspicious about is maybe they play the morph on turn 3 and it's turn 10 and they still haven't turned it up, or maybe it is turn 10 and you're in that situation where you just need one more thing to beat them, and they draw a land, but they play the morph face down 2/2 for 3. I mean, I'd be pretty suspicious in that stage, because at turn 10 you should have around 7 or 8 mana at the least, and pretty much there are plenty of big creatures that you can play, what's called the Woolly Loxodon or whatever. That's 6/7 for 7 with morph, and I mean, there's no point in playing the 2/2 for 3 if you can just play the 6/7 for 7, because they'll block your opponent's creatures better, obviously. So again, they're really on turn 10 when you're facing lethal, there really aren't too many situations where you'd want a 2/3 or 2/2 over whatever thing that it could actually be if it's morphed. So if they do that, that's definitely something to be suspicious about. Another thing is that if you kill their morph and they like when they send it to the graveyard, they like pick it up and put it in like that without actually turning the card over. That's pretty much a dead giveaway that they're making a fake morph, and definitely call over a judge about it, because yeah, it is a big deal. And like there are times when people, again, like you might lose because on the next turn after they use their like morph to cheat block you, they could like top deck a damage thing and kill you. So it is a big deal, and yeah, definitely something to keep in mind. So the last big way that people cheat you is by adding cards from their own collection into the deck. Now, if it's the first pre-release of a new block set, like say it was the Khans of Tarkir pre-release, then no one would have cards from Khans of Tarkir yet, so they wouldn't be able to add anything in from home. So like the only pre-release where you don't have to worry about this is the midnight launch of the first set in a new block. Anything other than that, you definitely need to kind of like be on the lookout for it. And basically what people do is they'll take cards from their collection, like they might have been to a previous pre-release and got it, or they might have just like, if it's the last set in a block like for Dragons of Tarkir, I mean, Khans of Tarkir has been out for a few months now, so that's more than enough time to buy a Sarkhan or two. And basically they can like go into the toilets between rounds and like put cards from home into their deck. So if you verse someone who has like an insane deck, like an Ugin, a Saurian, a Siege Rhino, things like that, Abzan Charm, and Valor's Stance, like all of those in one deck, I'd definitely be suspicious. It is possible for people to get like those in their packs, but come on, it's really unlikely. And yeah, if the player like has a reputation for doing this kind of thing, then like they're definitely cheating. And yeah, it's not really something that you can actually like prove generally, because again, most people will swap out cards in the toilets in between rounds. If you do notice people like going to the toilet a lot, I'd definitely be suspicious, because I mean, no one, like I'm talking about after every single round going to the toilet. And then like if you see them at their like the top table where like the people who are like 3-0 go in the last round, things like that, then they might have been actually like swapping out the cards. Again, like if we're talking about 2 planeswalkers in their deck, then that's pretty much a dead giveaway that they've been cheating. Other than that, it is kind of hard to tell. I mean, a lot of these people are clever and they'll make it so that like their pools are actually possible to get, but it's just very unlikely. But like again, like a foil planeswalker and 2 other non-foil planeswalkers is when it's starting to get pretty ridiculous, and yeah, I'd definitely be suspicious in that stage, and I'd probably call over a judge. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you didn't become too paranoid about the pre-release. Like, there aren't too many players who cheat there. Yeah, like it is pretty rare. Most of the time if someone's trying to cheat, then it means that they have a bad deck. So don't let them try and cheat you out of your 2 free packs. And yeah, again, like you're there to have fun. You shouldn't be too like worried about all this. Just make sure that you're on the lookout for it. Again, always bring a notepad and ask people to reveal morphs at the end of the game, and you should be fine. So I've got a MTG Spotlight video that I owe you guys. I know I should have uploaded it a while ago, but for some reason it takes like ages to upload, so I haven't really had time. But hopefully I should be able to have that out in the next week or 2. And yeah, so make sure you guys look forward to that. I've also got probably some more discussions coming, and I'm always on the lookout for some more crappy passes or fan fictions regarding to Magic. So yeah, if you guys know of any, please leave them in the comments below. But again, thanks for watching. Really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully I wasn't too rambly on this one. But yeah, until next time, bye guys.